Hello, Targar friends. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again, it's time for another Orc Mode workout. And Merry Christmas to everybody out there. You guys know the rules, though. You have to click like before you watch the PR attempt or the max attempt. Today we got a bench PR. Pretty happy with it because I did this same chain weight 4 days ago, and that was a PR with this weight, and I beat it by another 10 pounds today. And that's going to be what I'm going to do for a little while. All the benching, I'm going to use really heavy chains and bands. And the reason I'm doing that, I want to get used to feeling a much heavier weight. I want to build all my weak links up, but also I'm going to keep overbuilding my triceps so that I can lock these weights. And as counterintuitive as that might sound, we watched me do the same thing with the box squat. And before long, even when I was taking my box squat and then adding 100 pounds of chain weight to it, I have now exceeded in less than a year what the lockout weight was completely raw on that lift and on my back squat. All right, so I was doing like 405 with 100 pounds of chains. Now I've exceeded 500 on all my squatting raw. Box, back squat, everything. So the idea is going to be to do the same thing with the benching. Get used to the really heavy weight. Have to control these weights that are probably a hair too heavy for me. Heavier than my max through the top half of the lift, and then explode up through it again on the way back up. And develop my ability to explode through it. Because if I can do that, I'll be able to handle whatever weights I need to handle out of the bottom. Because I'm going to use the floor press and other stuff to build all of that up. So the same thing we did on the box squat that everyone said, hey, that's not going to work. Well, it did work. I'm doing it now at the bench. So I've got my bench cleaned up a bit. Now with this, I could have done a little more today. And I'm honest with that. You know, like yesterday on the squatting, I told you guys that's all I had. I wasn't going to lie. I wasn't going to say, oh, I could do another weight bump and grind through it. No. I'm honest with you guys on that. I left a little bit in the tank today. Mainly because I bench twice as often as I do squat or deadlift. Because I rotate squat and deadlift back and forth. And then we're benching at a higher frequency. And I missed a bench last time. Right, I tried a PR, couldn't get. So I left a little in the tank. Supplemental lifts went up today. Now, I went a hair wider on this. Because I want to go to kind of a medium grip. Because there's no point in trying to do a close grip on this. It's already awkward enough. I don't need it any harder on my forearms. Let's just get as much muscle involvement as we can. So I went a hair wider, which is really a medium grip on my axial floor press. I got my 5x10. It was challenging, but I went up 5 pounds. Now, I'm going to admit, I'd said before I feel this in my chest a lot. This is a really deep burn in my chest on these. And this is really a power lifter movement, yet I'm feeling my pecs tremendously, even with the axle bar. And the strength is going up. And the axle bar is harder. I think this is a hair heavier than what I had been doing before, even with the straight bar, right, the normal bar. So we're getting stronger at the floor press, and I'm doing the strictest version possible, leg straight. And I noticed that when I did that last time, I felt it in my chest even more. All right, because there's no way to use any leg drive and to use any cheat. Like, this is just really strict. And I can get just a little bit of an arch. I can keep it in a mild decline and then try to push towards my feet. And I felt a ton of pec activation. Easily as much chest as I get on a deep weighted dip. Okay, so this is a great chest exercise done this strict. And it's still full range of motion for me because every rep I either touch my chest or get within an inch of it depending on how much air I take in and things like that. Really happy with this exercise. I mean, part of me wants to go back to the straight bar because I really hate this axle bar. It is so hard, like my wrists and forearms. But I feel my chest. What's more interesting is that I feel the biceps on it. The only muscle I don't feel on this is my triceps, and a lot of people would say, hey, you know, the floor press is a tricep exercise. I don't feel my triceps at all. Nothing. I didn't feel my triceps on that bench either. It was all delt. Maybe my triceps are getting strong enough now because I've been training them so much that they're no longer a limiting factor. They're still small. But I mean, even visually, I think we could say my delts are still definitely my weak link. I can feel that my delts are the weak link when I press. So we're going to overdevelop the delts. Delts are getting a very high priority. But I felt pecs tremendously. And then delts right behind it. Very close second. I felt a lot of bicep. and no triceps, and that's funny. But that axle bar makes everything work on the bicep more. Everything I do with the axle bar just seems to make the bicep contract. It's not necessarily that it's a primary mover, it's just that it has to contract to stabilize. I think that with the really high rep band bicep work I'm doing in the evening probably all add up. Because people are like, you're not doing biceps. No, I am. But I'm doing all that rowing, but then I do really high rep band stuff in the evening. There's no point in doing that. I've already uploaded my workouts a couple hours before I do any of that. So I don't need to delay just to show you guys some 30 and 40 rep, 50 rep to failure band curls. If you can't figure out how to take a band and curl it to failure, I don't know what to tell you. And it takes forever. It's like a minute long per set. You know, so I don't care about showing it. There's no reason to lie about it. You guys see all the other training I do. And it's in my best interest to do it because it can help prevent bicep tears. But back to the point. These went good today. Felt them in my chest. Weight PR for the 5x10. So we got a bench PR. One of the main supplemental lifts got a volume PR. Weight PR for the volume. Now, I strained. I had to grind on the last set. It was hard to grind on the last set. But that's good. That means we're right where we want to be. Like, I was worried I wasn't going to be able to lock it. So we're right where we want to be. We're going to micro load it up. I've been using the micro plates on all this stuff. Same thing with the overhead press. Got to keep getting stronger. And we are. And this will get me strong out of the bottom of my bench. And then I did my rows with the axle bar. I'd call them Pendlay rows, but do we need to? That is a normal row. Like the bodybuilder row is a different row. That's one we should be given a special name. Just call it bodybuilder rows. This is Pendlay rows. This is a normal row. This is a traditional row. Strict and from the floor. I only did 3 of these today. Now, I've had days I've done as many as 10, and I have some days where I only do 3, but I do them every day. We do these rows 7 days a week. Why did I only do 3 today? I tested my grip strength yesterday, and all my gripping stuff, or at least the grip thing that I tested it on, my grip strength, or at least stamina, is way up. Okay, my grip is getting stronger. I have to deadlift tomorrow. I didn't want to just destroy my forearms because they get really fatigued doing this with the axle bar. I didn't want to completely destroy my forearms. I'm not going to do any supplemental grip work today. I always cut that stuff back the day before I deadlift. And we saw a grip improvement last time. See if my grip is holding out good tomorrow. I think it's going to be, as long as I give it a little bit of a break before my deadlift days, I think we're going to stop seeing the grip be my limiting factor now. And just keep training it day after day after day after day after day. But we stopped at 3. And that's enough. And look at my back. So I had actually had someone say, well, with that lighter weight, your back is not getting training. Look at my back. Probably still growing. And I feel this in my lats, by the way. So for people who are like, with the lighter weight, you're forced to use it. You're feeling it? Yeah, because I re-grip it. And by re-gripping it, what happens? It lets me go ahead and finish my lats off. So they're getting a lot of work. My rear delts are getting a lot of work. Everything's getting worked. And I get through it through volume. That's why I have some days where I go ahead and grind out 6, 8, 10 sets. Right? So that we make sure my back is getting work. And it's certainly not shrinking. So it's fine. I'm not worried. It's all coming along. And that's what I'm finding, this axle bar stuff. Yes, it forces you on some of the stuff to use a lighter weight, but I'm still feeling everything work. Everything's still getting hit. Same thing today. We got a PR on this. You can't see, guys don't see the smaller plates I put on these, and that's okay. Eventually, when we go to bigger stuff, we'll see. I don't really care, to be honest. Like if people say, oh, we can't see it, you can't prove it. It's my 5x10s. All right, if we're really at that point, guys, and you see what I lift with the big Losa calibrated, but if we're at that point, you need a therapist. Go get a therapist. Just quit watching, man. You need a therapist. I can't help you. You probably should just walk away. So let's move on to the positive stuff. Went really good. I got a mild PR here. By mild, I went up 1 microplate on each side. That's 2.5 pounds. 2.5 pound PR for my 5x10. Now, how much is on here right now? 130. Because people have to remember this bar is a little lighter than the normal bar. So that's not 135 you're seeing. I have 130 on here. My 5x10 with the standard bar was only up to 135 when I quit doing it a little while back. I think I'm about to catch it again with this axle bar. The axle bar is harder. So when the axle bar overhead press, which I'm finding more difficult, catches the other one, we know we're good. And I think it'll catch it and pass it. I'm going to keep pushing it up. I'm going to stick with this axle bar. Why? I like the extra forearm work. It's what I need. Even if I rotate it out for the floor press, I'm going to keep it here for a while. It's easy on my shoulders. I can grip it wider without any shoulder discomfort. And I feel the long head of my tricep. I feel the long head of my tricep tremendously, to the point to where I'm not worried about training it now with other stuff. I can focus upon bench-specific tricep work, which we'll discuss in a bit. I've been doing all that long head training, and my long head has grown, and I still feel like the lateral and medial head still need the most work. My long head's gotten bigger. I'm going to do 5 sets of this every workout, and I feel my lateral head more than any other press. Like I actively feel it pumped at the end of each set, in addition to my shoulders and upper chest and stuff, right? So if I'm feeling the long head work, and it's the least important to my benching, and I know it's getting sufficient growth or stimulus, because we're getting a pump in that head every single set. I do 5 sets of this every other day. That's 15 plus sets every week. And the long head does get worked on other lifts. It just doesn't get recruited as effectively. But it's definitely being worked here. So I don't care about it now. I don't care. I'm going to focus on getting my bench up. And that means getting my triceps stronger. But this is building my delts. And the delts are the weak link in my bench. And that's the other thing to remember. The floor press works the front delts tremendously, especially with still running a medium grip. This really hammers my delts. This overhead pressing, strict pressing, is a standard fix for my weakness on the bench. It's a standard fix, and we're doing a ton of it. So that's all sorted. So what am I doing? Went back to mess with the JM press. Now, are there concerns of tendonitis with the JM press? Yes. Do I have some followers and fans who don't like the JM press? And we've discussed that, and I will acknowledge that. I feel like I've studied this exercise enough, the history of it, the problems that people have with it, the way J.M. Blakely recommends it. I feel like I can execute it in such a way, which what I'm doing here in the floor version, that will not cause the tendonitis. It will not cause shoulder issues, elbow issues, any of that. It's just such a good tricep builder. Okay. So many guys swear by it. So many coaches swear by it to really get the bench lockout strength up for guys who are getting their triceps stronger. And when I do it this way, even with this lightweight, I really, really, really feel it hammering. Like the medial head of my delt. Lateral head too, but the medial head, I get a deep burn in there I'm not getting on other lifts. The only other thing that seems to hit my medial head like that is really heavy football bar presses. So this should, in theory, build my football bar press. But, again, this is so specific to my benching. And that's what I really, really do need to focus on. Those heads of the tricep. Because the other long head that we might be worried about frequently, which I've been working on a lot. A lot. I feel like that football bar press hits it. And this may be a better mass builder for my goals, especially building the bottom half down near the elbow, where we really need that meat, which is still really small for me. Right? Look at the area of my tricep around the elbow. This will correct that. Oh, also I took the belt off. I did a belt for the first set, then I realized that no, the belt's it's not useful on this. Let me just do it beltless. People always wonder, why do I wear the belt on a lot of lifts? Improve neuromuscular efficiency. For people who go, oh, it's to hide your gut, you guys watch me do glute ham raises from a front view with my belly up in the air. Okay. Anyone who wants to see my belly can watch me do glute ham raises. They want to see my stomach. Get real, guys. I do them at least once a week on camera. And you can look right at my belly button and be pulled way up in the air. So, People need to chill with that nonsense. But no, I do it for neuromuscular efficiency. But the J-arm presses really, really hit that area well. Same thing. I can't really superset these. I don't want to fatigue my delts and then do the J-arm presses. I think that could be exacerbate issues that people get with it. So I'm going to separate them back out. But I do these with short breaks. And I went ahead and did my 5 sets of these again today instead of just 3. Took all 5 sets to failure. Again, felt the delts really fatiguing. I didn't lose reps till the 5th set. The first 4 sets to failure, I didn't lose any reps. I think I lost like 3 reps on the last set though. I just couldn't do another rep. The arms wouldn't come up when I went to move them. So we're doing a lot of volume with this. So like around 15 reps or so to failure, 5 sets, end of every upper body workout. My delts need that, especially the side delt. Now granted, this hits all 3 heads and the upper trap, but it does hit the side delt really hard. That gets neglected. My delts need the work in general. Okay, this is a case where we've got to think like a bro. And a lot of the supplemental work, yes, I do care about where I feel it and where it's working. Not because mind muscle connection works, because it really doesn't. We've discussed that. We've discussed compensatory acceleration, all that stuff. It's because if I can feel a muscle really burning, I'm probably using muscle fibers in it. And if it's a muscle that I know needs to come up, then it makes sense. And delts, I'm going to have to bro it up. Let's be honest. How many of the bros have phenomenal delts? Tons of them. My delts suck. My delts are also the weak link in my bench. Anything that will put size on my delts is probably going to help me as a lifter. We could argue the side head isn't used very much in the bench, but it creates stability and it all carries over to front. My anterior deltoids are a weak link in my bench. And since I'm going to be benching closed and medium grip only, it's going to be more delt and tricep dominant. I have to overdevelop my delts. They will be the weak link in my bench for a long time. Not only are they underdeveloped on me in general relative to a lot of other muscles, I'm a delt dominant bencher. Okay, that's the only way my bench is going to come up. So we do what we have to do. And some of this will be broed up. But all in all, good workout. Happy with everything today. Got a PR. Got some PRs on my supplemental work. Everything is moving forward. I'm happy with it. So I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.